Yeah, it's Big C, Fin Posse Podcast in the building. If you hating on the Fins, turn this up louder. I grew up on Shula, chalk lines, cold rain, Marino in the pocket, dropping dimes, pure flame. 7-2 perfect, you can't say a thing back. Undefeated on your head, living rent-free fact. Jason Taylor off the edge, helmets turning skyward. That thumping chest, every hit like a siren. You talking about rings, get your history straight. We the reason that the word perfect holds weight. It's that Fin Posse, rage, turn the volume up. Hey, slick on Miami, you'll get called out tough. From the Orange Bowl ghost to that aqua on the cuff. If you doubt these Dolphins, you ain't studied us enough. Fin Posse, rage, put respect on the name. Big C on the mic, lighting lanes in the flame. This the Fin Posse rage, yeah, we bark, we bite. If you talking about the Fins, better get that story right. Yeah, Larry C. Sunk in the mud, blood on his mouthpiece. Ricky in the backfield, making whole crowd screech. Wake off the snap count, quarterbacks daydreaming. By the time they look up, all they see is tears streaming. You forgot about Grease, you forgot about Twilly, you forgot Nat Moore. Going up, getting silly from Marino to a lineage, same jersey. We've been airing that thing out since before you that 30. Posse, rage, turn the volume up. Y'all slick on Miami, you get called out tough. From the Orange Bowl ghost to that aqua on the cuff. If you doubt these Dolphins, you ain't studied us enough. Fin Posse, rage, put respect on the name. Big C on the mic, lighting lanes in the flame. This the Fin Posse rage, yeah, we bark, we bite. If you talking about the Fins, better get the story right. It's for the diehards, slamming doors on the loss. This for the old heads still quoting Shula talk. This for the kids wearing jerseys in June, waiting all year just to scream in the room. It's that Fin Posse rage, turn the volume up. On Miami, you'll get called out tough. From the Orange Bowl ghost to that aqua on the cuff. If you doubt these Dolphins, you ain't studied us enough. Fin Posse rage, put respect on the name. Big C in the crew, let them drown in the shame. It's the Fin Posse rage, yeah, we bark, we bite. Fin Posse Podcast, get the Dolphin story right. Woo! Get the Dolphin story right. Woo! Get the Dolphin story right. Yeah. Check it. From the 305 to the world. Big C on the mic. Welcome to the inner circle. You know what it is. Yeah. Clock hits noon, ready for the breakdown. Big C stepping up, holding down the town. The Fin Posse Podcast, yeah, we talking shop. Fresh off the field, never gonna stop. For the fans, by the fans, that's the code. Every single snap, every yard on the road. We dissect the stats, every gain, every loss. Breaking down the tape, checking every cross. Fins up, hold it high to the sky. Hard hitting talk, no need for a lie. From the trenches to the end zone, we keep it true. The Fin Posse, yeah, we waiting for you. Fins up, let the rivals all see. It's the daily grind, it's the podcast, it's Big C. Yeah. Keep it locked, Fins up. Big C. Posse move.
What up, Fin fans? Welcome to another episode of the Fin Posse Podcast. I am your host, Big C, and this is brought to you by Game Changers Media. How's everybody doing this wonderful Thursday morning? Good morning. Ah, man. So there was no practice yesterday, so, we had to come up with something to talk about, and, man, did I stumble upon something that blew my absolute mind yesterday. We'll talk about that in a second, but let's say hello to the chat real quick. And then I'm going to open up the panel, and I'm going to get your guys' opinion on this because I just don't get it. I don't understand the way people think. I don't know if, is it just me? Is it just me that doesn't comprehend the way people understand the game of football? Is it just me that think people are absolutely brain dead when it comes to this game? I just don't understand. I just don't get it. Marcos, good morning. Lombardo, good morning, brother. Michael K, good morning. Miller, good morning. Let's hit them like buttons. Again, fantasy football rapidly approaching. As of right now, we got 3 spots taken up. They're going to go quickly. Let's go. Let's go. Hit the email up. You know, I say 3 spots are taken up, but there might be even more than that because I've had a couple people say that they're definitely in. They just haven't hit the email yet. So, you know, that 3 spots taken up can go to 6, 7, 8 real quick. So if you want your opportunity to play fantasy football, it's a great time. It's going to be super fun. We're going to be able to discuss our fantasy league here every week on the channel. Sign up, hit the email, and let's do the damn thing. It's going to be a good time. But I'm gonna send the link out real quick because yesterday, you know, and obviously the Miami Dolphins, I've said it from the very beginning, the Miami Dolphins are going through a rebuild, you know, so my expectations of this football team aren't super high. They're not super high. And Cap says lightning storm canceled today's practice, so that's disappointing. But again, my expectations for this season, as far as wins and losses go, are low. They're low, and I haven't been shy about telling my reasoning behind that. Now, as far as expectations of what I think this team needs to do and what this team's capable of doing, as far as a culture change, as far as growing as an organization, as far as progressing and growing our young players, I think there's a lot to be gained from this season. I think a lot of positive things can be taken from the season. I just don't think it equates to wins and losses. But we know that there's been the super positive fan out there that, you know, I've heard numbers from 9 wins to 14 wins. 14 is the highest that I've heard so far. You know, we're going to have, I've heard Malik Willis going to have 45 total touchdowns, 3,500 yards passing, 1,000 yards rushing. The Miami Dolphins are going to have 4 1,000-yard rushers. Caleb Douglas is going to be the next Randy Moss. This, that, and the third. Just this, that, and the third, right? And listen, if you're a fan and you just get your information from YouTube, you get your information from your favorite content creator, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. If you don't do this, and I'm not even going to say professionally, if you don't do this on a higher level, and I mean, if you don't have a podcast, or you don't have an avenue to make your feelings known and have a following and a fan base, I don't blame you. I don't blame you for saying 10 wins. I'm not mad at you for saying 11 wins. I'm not mad at you at all. This isn't about you. This isn't about you. This is about the people that have a fan base, that have a following, that use their time and efforts to spread a fake narrative. A fake narrative. Any right-minded person knows that this football team isn't very good. Everybody with a right mind for football knows that this team's got issues that are going to be almost that you're just not going to be able to overcome. You're just not going to be able to overcome them. There's too many. And it's okay. You're not supposed to be able to overcome the things that the Miami Dolphins are faced with. You're not supposed to. A team's not supposed to be able to overcome $180 million in dead cap. A team's not supposed to compete for a championship or a division and playoff wins when you replace 3/4 of your overall football team. When you replace the general manager, you replace the head coach, you replace the quarterback. Now you've replaced the CEO and the vice president, and you know what I mean? The people that are in charge of running this organization. From top to bottom. You've lost some of the biggest names this team had in the last 3 years. The Bradley Chubbs, the Tyreek Hills, the Fitzpatricks, the Waddles, the Tua Tagovailoas. And some of those moves were made, like the Tua Tagovailoa. I think we made a positive move. I think we got better from moving on from Tua Tagovailoa. I think Malik is better at this point in his career than Tua Tagovailoa. So not all moves are moves that set you back. But there's not enough positive moves to erase the negative ones. But anyway, you got these fans out there, and everybody knows that me and Pete had our situation over on Pete's Take. And again, go subscribe over there. Pete's not a bad guy. Pete's not a bad guy. But be very careful to what you hear and what you believe. Be very careful. I was labeled as a fake fan because I thought this team was going to struggle. And obviously a lot of the people over on that channel felt differently. Like I said, I've heard 14 wins. So imagine my surprise. I go to tune in I see Pete's live yesterday. I go to tune in. And how come in the course of a 3-day stretch, they go from 11, 12 wins, playoff wins, to a 0-17 season. An 0-17 season. All the hope and faith is gone. Now they're straight. We're going 0-17 or 1-16 or 2-15. Like, just a complete flip of what the narrative was. Now, maybe they were trolling. Maybe they were trolling. I didn't sit there and listen to all 11 hours of the podcast. So maybe I just caught a small portion where they were just trolling, and that's not what their true belief is. But if it is, how confusing is that to the average fan that tunes in to our channels to get their NFL information? How confusing is that? Now, some people want to have their favorite content creators back no matter what. They believe every word that comes out their favorite content creator's mouth. You got TD's guys, you got Doug's guys, you got Pete's guys. Shoot, some people might even believe everything I say. And I tell you, don't do that, because I base mine off my opinion alone. Now, I try to give a fair and accurate opinion. I don't try to jump out the window. I don't try to give off-the-wall predictions necessarily. But again, I'm not a professional anything. I'm not a professional. I don't work for ESPN. I don't have the inside scoop on a lot of things. Do I got some connections? Yeah, I do. But not nearly enough. Not nearly enough. So again, even the things that I say are really just my opinion. And do I think that I'm pretty football smart? For the most part. But am I as smart as Adam Schefter? No. Am I as smart as Mel Kiper Jr.? No. I mean, these guys have been doing this professionally for 20 plus years. They know more football than we'll ever know. Whether you like the guys or you don't like them, they do this for a living. Miller says this team is hungry, though. They feel the need to prove themselves. We don't have guys who roll out of bed on established top dogs. I'd rather take the pack of wolves we have right now. Who are the wolves on this team, Miller? Again, you're insinuating you have something you have no idea if it's true or not. Bonnie says, I'm not sure saying we are an awful team is right. That implies we have no talent. We have our foundational vets, and that is some good young talent. They are just inexperienced. Bonnie, I don't think the team's awful. I don't think the team's awful, and there are some talented guys on this football team. But for the most part, the team does have a lot of guys on this football team that this team is made up of a lot of guys that are limited as far as talent's concerned. Yes, we got our fair share of young guys, young talented players. You know, we have this year's draft where we had 13 picks. We have last year's draft, which I think there's some good talent from there. We have the year before that. That's the Chop Robinson draft, where we still got some talented players on the football team from that year. You got Devon Achane. You got Aaron Brewer. You got Patrick Paul. Hopefully Malik Willis. There's talent on this football team, absolutely. But a lot of the talent on this team is untapped talent. Talent that needs to be progressed. Talent that needs to shown the way. Marcos said, Yo, Big C, is TD the Dolphins host in the AFC Roundtable? Yes. Yeah, Marcos. So I'm going to send out the link. You know, please tell me, because I don't want to go too far into it. Was Pete just gaslighting yesterday? Was Pete just trolling? Or has Pete's belief in what this season entails for the Miami Dolphins really just flipped completely? And even TD. I mean, Doug, not so much. I've listened to Doug. Doug's pretty firm on, 4 to 6 wins, somewhere in that range, kind of like where I'm at. So, but TD's too smart at the game of football to really think that this team is gonna win 11 games, and I'm pretty sure that's where he's at right now. I watched the Dolphin Collective. I'm pretty sure he's at 11 wins. Now, I know it's super easy to get excited about what we're hearing in training camp. Caleb Douglas. We're hearing Caleb Douglas is performing pretty well, although he still dropping passes. Caleb Douglas is a wolf. No, he's not. Chop is looking like a wolf. Chris Johnson's a wolf. Jonah got that. AJ Green's a wolf. Miller, what evidence do you have of that? What evidence? Where's the evidence? Now think about that. AJ Green, they say he's been pretty good in coverage. Is it because this kid is just became a great player, or is it because there's a lack of talent at wide receiver? Is Caleb Douglas balling out because Caleb Douglas is such a good wide receiver, or is it because we have a lack of talent at cornerback? You know what I mean? When you got a team that has a bunch of young, inexperienced players and they're going up against each other, and one guy has a good day, and that's what you're basing your opinion off of, you got to be careful with that. Yeah, iron sharpens iron. But what happens when you don't have iron on one side? What happens when you're rubbing two sticks together? This isn't a situation where it's Tyreek Hill going up against Jalen Ramsey in practice, where two elite players are making each other better. Not the saying, not saying that Caleb Douglas is not getting better going against Chris Johnson in practice. But again, both those young guys are going to make mistakes. And, you know, if you got two guys that are number 3 or number 4 wide receivers or number 4 corners going at each other and they're going back and forth making plays, I mean, that doesn't make them number ones because they're going against each other. So, yeah, they're going to be able to play better against lesser talent. I mean, like, okay, we know how you feel about TD, but I don't. I think TD knows the game of football. Thing with TD though is he likes the troll. You know what I mean? But I don't believe TD's trolling. I believe TD believes in what he's saying. Hold on one second. Good morning, Glenn. Well, at this time of season, every team should have how to win 10 to 11 games. I guess I don't know what you mean by that statement, Glenn. You think every team should have faith that their team's going to win 10, 11 games at this point? AJ Green has a history in Halfley system, is the only quarterback on the roster who has the defense down ASAP. Again, you can know the defense. That does not make you run faster. It does not make you jump higher. It does not make you a more talented individual. I could learn the Green Bay defense that Jeff Halfley was bringing over, the Jeff Halfley defense. That does not make me be able to cover Jamar Chase. Bonnie says, it's hard to believe anything you hear right now. Someone yesterday said they heard Paul wasn't doing good. Then listened to Fish Tank last night, and Chris Perkins said he is doing a good job. I don't think Patrick Paul's doing bad this camp. I think Patrick Paul's not looking as impressive as some people would hope that he is, or hope that he would. I mean, there's been plays where, I've heard Omar discuss plays where Josh Uche has gotten the best of Patrick Paul, and Chop Robinson's gotten the best of Patrick Paul on certain plays. And if you expect your left tackle to be dominant, which I think we all do, you don't expect, a guy like Josh Uche to be beating him in practice. but you don't know if they're number ones or not. Who is wrong? The person that thinks they're number ones or the person that assumes they're number threes or fours? Glenn, has Jalen Tolbert, how long has Jalen Tolbert been in the league? How long has Jalen Tolbert been in the league? Years, right? Years. Has he ever even sniffed number one wide receiver territory? Has he ever looked the part of a number one wide receiver? So if you're asking me who's right and wrong in that aspect, I'm going to say that I'm right. I'm going to say there's a great chance that I'm right. As far as rookies are concerned, there are very few rookies that come into this league and can produce like a number one wide receiver, corner, safety, defensive end, center, quarterback. There's very few. Very few. So you can't say that about Caleb. I can say Caleb was a fifth-round prospect. A fifth-round prospect. And you're telling me he's going to come into the league and be a number one right off jump. What's more likely to happen? Douglas be a number one or be a number three or number four wide receiver as a fifth round prospect? What's more likely? Michael K, good morning.
Hold on, I gotta set up my Bluetooth.
Now, Michael K, try to be a little more positive. Right. Try to take your hate for the Dolphins out of the picture.
I don't have hate for the Dolphins. What I have is I have hate for these podcasters that think they know what they're talking about and they don't. That's the issue that I have.
Yeah, I mean, some of them got intel from, behind the scenes. You know what I mean? And like, I do think a lot of them do the due diligence and do the homework. I just don't see where they're coming from this season. I just don't see it.
Well, let's talk about Dan Mitchell. He has no idea what he's talking about when he talks. What he does is he repeats things verbatim from what Steve Tasker said on One Bills Live, or what Chris Brown says, or some of these other people that are actually connected to the Bills. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know positions. He doesn't understand the difference between a wide nine or an inside five, or two versus a cover four is, or a cover six. He doesn't know any of that shit. And that's what bothers me. Most casual fans don't. I get that. I'm a casual fan, and I don't know most of that stuff. The only reason I do is because one of my good friends is a defensive backs coach for the University of Buffalo, and he's taught me. And that's where I get aggravated at all these people that don't know what they're talking about, but just talk and want to try this out. You like my picture, by the way? I see you just brought it up.
No, I don't like that. I just noticed that. What the fuck?
Sorry, I'll change it. That's when you blocked me. And that's where I have problems. How do I do it now? Son of a bitch. I have it. All right, I'll switch it back. That's where I have the problems with these podcasters. Is they don't know what they're talking about. They're trying to teach people, or people are trying to learn from these people, and they're not learning correctly. That's my issue with most people.
Glenn makes a statement. Stephon Diggs was a fifth-round pick, right? Glenn, for every Stephon Diggs that there was drafted in the fifth round, there's literally probably 200 other wide receivers that didn't amount to shit. Like, let's be real. Miller says the pick status doesn't change the production he has shown at camp. Best player starts. Production against who? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Caleb Douglas is producing against who in camp? You act like we got Jalen Ramsey in the backfield still, or, you know, we got Champ Bailey back there, or Pat Surtain, or like, who's he producing against? And that's what I'm talking about. Just because you produce against other low-level talent, how good does that truly make you? Glenn says, what I'm saying is you don't put your assumptions on a player, let them play. That's what people do, Glenn. We come on here to talk football. Everything's an assumption. You try to make an educated guess based upon evidence. The evidence that I bring forward is that he was a fifth-round guy that was overdrafted by the Miami Dolphins. Your evidence is that he's 6'4", and runs a 4.39. You know what I mean? And then I come back with you that he's had an issue catching the ball his whole life. You know what I mean? It's a back and forth argument, and you bring an argument to the table, I bring an argument to the table, and eventually we figure out who's right. And to be honest, I hope you're right, Glenn. I hope he does turn out to be a number one wide receiver, because that's positive for my Miami Dolphins. Miller says our corners will cover anyone in this division has to offer. Well, first off, we don't have great wide
receivers. Where's the proof? Where's the proof of that? That's what. See, it's comments like that, you know, and I understand being a fan, but at least have some knowledge to back it up, or some evidence or proof to back it up.
Well, I mean, this division got some of the worst wide receiver teams in the NFL. You know what I mean? Collectively, you know, I mean, DJ Moore's a nice receiver for Buffalo. Shakir's a good possession slot guy. You know, you got Garrett
you got
Wilson
Dobbs. You got Dobbs and AJ Brown now in New England.
Garrett Wilson,
Miami's going to get torched. Miami secondary is going to get torched this year. You know, and that's just by going on the caliber of receivers they're going to have to face.
Frederick Dunlap says, Marvin Harrison dropped passes. Does that diminish him? Yes. Yes, absolutely. Marvin Harrison was drafted as a top wide receiver prospect, was supposed to come into the NFL and hit the NFL by storm, and what's he done? He's not
all receivers drop passes. Receiver.
Yeah, all wide receivers do drop passes, but not on the consistent level that some of these guys do.
What's not right, Glenn?
Miller says, name one wide receiver on the team, Michael K., that Chris Johnson can't cover. Who have you seen Chris Johnson cover at a wide receiver NFL level?
Wait, who's Chris Johnson? He hasn't even made a name for himself yet. See, it's comments like that there's no standing. Chris Johnson hasn't played one NFL snap yet, and Miller's already got him in the Hall of Fame.
And again, I invite each and every one of you up. I'm not going to not have people up because they're Bills fans, as long as they're being respectful and not telling lies or just saying stuff because, you know, obviously me and Michael K have gone back and forth. I've blocked him from my channel.
That's why I had that picture.
He's not just up here saying someone sucks because they're a Dolphin, though. He's not doing that. He has done that, but he's not doing that right now.
No, and I'll tell you when I'm saying it to be an asshole, but I'll also tell you when I'm telling you something because I know for a fact.
Glenn,
you know, you got your secondary is suspect to say the least.
And the fans know that. Our fans know that our secondary is not very good. I just don't understand why they try to give it more credit than what it's due.
Well, it's kind of like Trump. It's kind of like Trump Robinson. It's kind of like Trump Robinson going against Patrick Paul, and Robinson's looking great this year. Well, is that because Patrick Paul sucks, or is he just Robinson hasn't really proven anything in the NFL yet. And if he's looking great this year, it kind of leads me. It makes me lean to the side that Patrick Paul is as good as anybody thinks he is. Essentially, is what it
Miller
comes
says,
down to.
wait till joint practice with Washington. Well, they got better wide receivers than any will play in this division. And what happens if Washington eats our lunch, Miller?
Who does Washington have besides McLaren? Who does Washington have besides McLaren?
Didn't they sign Diggs?
I don't think did they.
I heard on the collective they did. I'm not sure if they did or not.
I don't know if they did. I'm not sure. But now, if they have Diggs, but Diggs is old, he's definitely past his prime.
I mean, Diggs is better than any receiver we got on our roster.
Fred, hit the link, buddy. Come on up. Tell me where I'm full of it, bro.
Yeah, I send the link back out. Like, again, why are Dolphin fans so enamored with this season and have so much belief that this year of all the years of Dolphins football, of all the years, the last 25 years where we haven't won a playoff game, why is this year, the year that our backs are up against the wall more so than any other year, this is the year that we're gonna overcome and go to the playoffs? Why is it this year?
Hold on, Big C. Hey, Glenn, just so you know, if Paul plays on the left and Chop plays on the right, that means they're going against each other.
And they've been moving Chop all over the field.
Right,
Chop
but if Patrick Paul's on the left hand side when Chop's at the right end position, he's going against Patrick Paul. It's opposite.
Bonnie, there's been reports from other beat writers that Patrick Paul has had some slip ups. So I mean, again, I'm not saying Patrick Paul's out there getting his ass kicked by any means. You know what I mean? I'm just saying Patrick Paul hasn't looked as quite as dominant as we would expect him to. This is year 3. I expect Patrick Paul to take another step forward. You know what I mean? We got look at our pass rushers. We don't got a TJ Watt or a Parsons so Patrick Paul, in my opinion, we ain't got a Myles Garrett. So Patrick Paul shouldn't be giving up maybe the occasional sack, but you know what I mean?
Hold on, I'll be right back. I got to take my dog out.
All right. The last time we had a head coach with a plan, we won 9 games. The last time we had a coach with a plan, was he $180 million in dead cap? You guys cannot forget that. You guys can't ignore it. Like, please, you cannot ignore that. You cannot ignore that. Oh man, you guys are killing me too. But where are my Dolphins people at? Where are the Dolphins people at?
Where are the Dolphins people at this morning?
They're complaining against the Buffalo people.
We're here. We're here talking to you. We're talking. I can talk Miami football. Michael, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing all right, Mark.
Miller, coaching does matter. Are only the real survive. Coaching does matter, but you still, a 5-star chef. If you give them a can of sardines and a pack of ramen noodles, they can't make you a steak dinner. So the chef matters. The chef matters too. But you know what I mean? You can't turn water into wine. You're not Jesus.
Yeah, you cannot.
Coaching does matter.
You cannot. You can't. You can't take Alpo and turn it into filet mignon. And that's the problem here. So, I listen to all these different podcasts throughout the league. I was listening to a little bit of the Jets this morning. The Patriots are a little too full of themselves, to be honest with you, for a team that lucked out on the worst schedule in the history of football last year. But the majority of time, and I was listening to some Bills podcasts yesterday, which I found interesting, in that they're not overhyping like we're seeing in Miami, and I'm not understanding why. Maybe somebody can explain that. Why the overhype in Miami when other teams are not like overhyping?
It's the podcasters. That's what it is. It's the podcasters giving people hope, because people are getting their information from them and they want to believe. People want to believe. I want to believe. When I start to hear things positive, I start moving the pole a little bit and start I start doing that shit in my head, believing in something that I know isn't realistic. But I don't allow myself, I calm myself down, and I take a step back and I look. I'm a TD fan. Like I love TD's work. I think TD's funny. Like I said, I give TD a lot of praise. He's helped me a lot. But when TD's talking, I wanna believe in the things he says. I can't believe in this team coming from the dead. Look at the roster. Just look at it. That's all you got to do is look at this roster. And Bonnie,
I know. I was cracking up yesterday listening to Pete vacillate between his Monday the Dolphins are going to win 10 games to yesterday the Dolphins are going to win 3 games.
Bonnie says, plus you are drawing so many conclusions off a week of practice. That's not it, Bonnie. It's not the week of practice. It's everything.
Who's got feedback?
It's the team as a whole. You know what I mean? It's the I don't know why people ignore the $180 million in dead cap. I don't know how you try to even ignore that.
Can I add something in real quick?
Yeah, brother.
Well, I will say this. If anybody on this planet played football before, everyone knows that the game is not won until the end of the game. Am I correct?
Well, it's with any sporting event.
Right, exactly. So my point is, it don't matter how much dead cap, numbers, whatever, however y'all want to put it, it's not really determined and dictated until the game is played. So no matter how much we want to push numbers, push pencils, whatever the case may be, it's a lot of optimism because the game still has to be played. It don't matter how many times a receiver drop a ball in practice. If you show up game time and don't have as many drops, then what's the point in harping on practice? If I make sense to y'all.
Well, let me ask you a question. And this is really, really simple.
Well,
if you're an Arizona Cardinal fan, if I go to an Arizona Cardinal website or podcast, am I going to hear their fans talking about winning 10 or 11 games this year?
I mean, it don't matter. You can't sit here and knock somebody for their level of belief, their level of hope. You know what I'm saying?
I don't knock them for their belief.
Actually, you is by saying you don't understand what the problem is. You're actually knocking it because if you don't understand what the problem is, that's basically saying I don't see why they so hyped because they're going to lose this year.
But when we
are going to lose
talent,
this year, though.
When you don't have talent, what are you going to do?
Brother.
I mean, but at the end of the day, the game has to be played. It don't matter if you got the talent or not. The game has to be played. There's so many variables.
But if you got LeBron James going against a high school kid, I mean, come on, man.
Man, look at the level of difference you just added in like that. That's like saying, come on, bro. A LeBron James against a high school player, bro.
All right. LeBron James against Bronny. LeBron James against Bronny James.
That's still ridiculous to say that because that's
no, it's not. No, it's not.
Player. What did Bronny James do in college? He averaged 4 points, bro.
LeBronny James is an NBA player.
Man, he averaged 4 points. He didn't deserve to get drafted. Come on.
All right, so take any other player in the NBA against LeBron James, any minimum contract player.
It's gonna be a battle to the end if you come with somebody that is at the level he's at. Like,
But they're not at the level. They're not at the level because we don't have.
So name KD, name KD, name Kevin Durant, name Dwayne Wade, name somebody that has some stature like this.
We don't have Kevin Durant money.
So you mean to tell me you follow the money and that equals success?
Yeah,
because we get told with the money and it's not equaling success.
You just said name a KD, name Dwayne Wade, name someone that's on LeBron's level, and now you're telling me
skill level. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about skill level.
Money buys skills. Money buys skill level.
Not all the time, bro. Look at Tua.
Yes, it does.
Look at all these contracts. Look at all these contracts that don't fail through because the player did not show up. Money does not equal talent.
Money completely equals talent.
How when you got so many? Look at a Jamarcus Russell.
What? Jamarcus Russell didn't have talent.
But he got paid. He got paid.
All right, you're talking about another great player versus another great player. If you're a great player, you're going to get paid, correct?
Not necessarily. Scottie Pippen didn't get paid.
Scottie got paid.
Scottie was
a secondary player. Scottie wasn't a great player. He was a great player, but he wasn't a superstar. He wasn't a superstar. He wasn't Mike. He wasn't Pat Ewing. He wasn't Akeem Olajuwon. Scottie didn't win nothing without Mike.
Money doesn't always equal what y'all saying it should equal. If that was the case, Tua Tagovailoa would have worked out here in Miami.
You're comparing different type of money.
That screwed your system up.
You're comparing it wrong, brother. You're comparing guys that got money for.
Either way it go, the game has to be played. Either way it go, the game has to be played. No matter how much money anybody got in their pockets. You can have $50,000 in your pocket. I can have $100,000 in my pocket. When it comes to us two to fighting, we don't know who's going to win just because somebody got more money. It comes down to skill, right?
So no, why is there a salary cap then?
It's a salary cap to keep teams from overpowering teams.
So
300 million is better than.
So if you got 120 versus 300 million, that team's going to overpower, right?
Y'all trying to trap me up, but I'm still.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to get you to understand, brother. Skills
matter in this game. I don't care what you say. If
you don't got the money to pay for skills, if you don't got money to pay for the skill players, you ain't gonna have only a limited amount of skill guys.
That's only in free agency. That ain't doing with drafting. Like we could have drafted skillful players right now that don't have the money.
True. But how many first-year guys come into the league and produce at a high level?
The same way I'm saying, how many guys that get that big contract still produce at a high level? Money does not always equal to talent.
Brother. So
it's hard to make an argument to somebody who just doesn't want to look at the realities. It really is.
Man, bro, I look at reality all the time. Don't try to play me like that. I'm a realist person. I'm just trying to help y'all understand that the game has to be played no matter what. No matter how much money the person gets.
The game does have to be played. You're absolutely right. But to act like, does it matter that this is the first year under Jeff Hafley? Let me ask you a few questions. Okay? Does it matter that this is the first year under Jeff Hafley?
I would say yes.
Now, is it a negative way or a positive way?
Me, I would say a positive way, being the type of person I am. But it's a toss-up. You can't say one way because the other way still exists. It's a toss-up.
All right, so I'll say that, Jeff Hafley might be a better coach than Mike McDaniel, the last coach. I'll even give you that. But
no, and when I said that, I was talking about Brian Flores.
All right, Brian Flores.
He came in with a plan, and when he executed his plan, we ended up winning 9 games his first year and just missing the playoffs, right?
Was that?
No, actually, you won 5 games the first year.
And
cost yourself Joe Burrow is what you did.
But either way it go, I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Regardless, Jeff Hafley, I like what he's doing, but it's still a new offensive scheme. It's still a new defensive scheme that takes time to get accustomed to, right? It takes time to learn the playbook. It takes time to become good at that. It takes good to become good at that offense and that defense, right?
Let me ask a question. If you guys win 5 games this year and you're competitive the majority of time, would you be content with that or not?
Being that if we was competitive every game and it wasn't no blowout, yes, I would be content with it.
Well, that's what you should target. Don't get your hopes up high for something that's not going to happen. Get your hopes to something that you can actually have reality.
Hopes up on little what, not if, ands, and buts, and not. I'm the type of person you got to show me before I really just give it all to you. Because at the end of the day, everybody has to work for what they want to keep. So,
but do you think 31 other teams aren't working every bit as hard, or with more talent?
Time out. I want to get to these questions. So, a new offense and a new defensive scheme that matters, right? It takes time to learn that, correct?
Correct.
Do you think it matters that we got the number of 1-year minimum contract players on this football team that we do? I don't know what the number currently is, but
we got 40. We got
44 last time I looked.
44. Okay, well, we got 44, and I don't really think that matters because if some players really want to be in the NFL and do what they do, then the contract don't matter. What they do on the field will dictate and determine everything.
It doesn't what they did on the field dictate that they're minimum contract guys?
I mean, what they have done, yes, but everybody knows that this is a show me now league. So they still got opportunities to show now that they go ahead.
You're right that anything can happen. You're right, anything can happen. I can win the lottery today. But if they've been in the league for 3, 4, 5 years and they've been minimum contract guys, and at this point in their career they're getting a 1-year minimum contract from the Miami Dolphins, wouldn't you say that's who they are?
I mean, you can tend to say that. Yes, not many people turn it over after a 4 or 5 year in the league. I agree on that.
How many rookie players come out year 1 and perform at a superstar level, a high quality starter level, not even superstar, a high quality starter level? You there, brother? You still there?
You might be thinking
Hello?
about it. If I was going to say the Dolphins last year, I would say none. I would say none with a majority of teams.
Real, you still there?
Well,
hold on. I think he's coming back in. And Glenn, I see you. Shoot. I thought he says he needs to connect his mic or his camera.
Because so much of
Can you hear me? Okay,
Yeah,
my
I
fault.
can hear you now.
I had some technical difficulties. My fault.
No, you're cool. So how many rookies come in and play at a high starter level year 1?
I mean, that's a toss-up, too, because it ain't many first-round picks, first-round picks that will work out. So,
I'm saying the whole draft. I mean, your whole draft. Typically, how many players come out and are high-end level starters year 1? Not too many, right?
I think Aiden Hutchinson's the only one in recent history.
I mean, they don't got to. I'm not saying superstars. I'm not saying like Jamar Chase or anything like that. I'm just saying someone that can come in and contribute at a starter level year 1. Not too many, right? You still there, Real? Yeah, I think he's having trouble. But anyway, not too many. That's my point. Not too many. The fact that we do got $180 million less than most teams to spend in free agency, people, if you want to ignore that, there is a salary cap for a reason. And like Real said, there's a reason. The reason behind that is so other teams can't overpower other franchises. Well, that's the case. Young players take time to develop. This team's got talent, but they need time to develop. They need time to learn Jeff Hafley's systems. They need to learn how Jeff Hafley does things. The rookies need to get accustomed to the NFL. All those things need to happen. We got a quarterback that we don't know what we got. Yeah, we all assume that Malik Willis is going to be good, but we just don't know what he's going to look like for a 17-game season. We just don't know.
Well, not only that, not only do you not know what he looks like, you have no idea what he's going to look like with the level of talent that he's playing with.
And Bonnie, you're right. We didn't think Roswell Douglas was going to be good last year, and he was. But that's one out of how many other players did we sign that weren't very good? Like, we can always pull that one because it's easy to pull the one. You can always find the one that did overperform because that's easy, like the Stephon Diggs in the 5th round. It's easy to pull them out, but you can't name the other 100 that didn't make nothing out of themselves because nobody talks about them. Again, this team, when we've had talent, when we've had $300 million to spend, didn't produce at a high level. And all of a sudden, because we switched quarterbacks and switched head coaches, we're going to the playoffs.
I mean, what we like in the past?
Hold on. Mark, your thing. I just muted you. Go ahead, Real. Sorry. So,
He's muted too, it sounds like.
Yeah, I got him. Go ahead, Real.
Yeah. I was just saying, like, them years ago that we needed a head coach. Like, the team was good, but if we had that right head coach, it would have propelled us to a different level. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, let me bring up that time we made the playoffs and with Ryan Tannehill, but he got hurt and Matt Moore had to come in. You know, wouldn't you agree that if we had a better head coach, we probably would have won that game?
I mean, possibly.
Possibly. Because we had Adam Gase at the time, right?
Was it Adam Gase or was it Joe Philbin?
I think it was Adam Gase. I don't think it was.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think we made the playoff in the Joe Philbin era. But what I'm saying is, just like you said, the scheme. You know what I'm saying? The scheme could fit a lot of players that we have now, and we just have a success. We don't know until we get out there on that field. You know what I'm saying? Now, practice could be a good indicator, but at the same time, some players don't show up at practice. They show up game time.
And I agree. Some players don't, perform overly well at practice. My major thing is if you look at this team top to bottom, and again, I hate to do this because I hate trying to, it seems like I'm taking shots at my team. I'm just trying to get you guys to see the overall whole picture because I just feel like something's got to be missing. Something's got to be missing for you guys that you're not seeing.
Nah,
because
go ahead.
I mean, if you looked at this team, if the Jets had only $120 million to spend, and you looked at this roster for the Jets, you'd say they weren't a good roster. I think the roster for the Jets right now is considerably better than ours, and we're going to win more games than the Jets.
I mean, I just look at it like everything that is a knock on us right now is the optimistic of it being turned around. It's just, I don't know, like I said before, man, these guys come in with a plan And the last time we had a head coach with a plan in the next 2 years, it showed that it was going to be successful.
You're right. In the next 2 years, we're talking about year one, though, real.
But what happened in the past doesn't guarantee anything in the future. That's the other.
It doesn't, but he's talking about.
It doesn't, but tendencies and qualities, that what matters. And the tendency that Flo held people accountable is the same quality that these guys that get right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at just because we had a new head coach, this what happened. No, I'm looking at the tendencies and the qualities that a person have to propel and lead a team full of men. That's what I'm talking about. And right now, Jeff and Sully are showing that they are not afraid to hold people accountable. They're not afraid to go get the people that put their head down and work.
And that's fine, but you can't guarantee they have talent. You can't guarantee they have talent just because they work in practice.
Bro, sometimes when you got a team full of hard workers, you can beat a talented team.
That's literally
sometimes, yeah, maybe, but not all the time.
You think every team that has won the Super Bowl has been the most elite, talented team in the NFL that year?
No, they haven't.
We're at the bottom five.
It takes hard work, dedication, and camaraderie. They come together as a unit. It isn't a team full of mercenaries like it has been. These are people that are coming together.
And where's the talent?
How do you know that? How do you know that? Are you there? How do you know they coming together?
You can see it in the way the field is and how they interact.
Stop.
The whole vibe is different.
You're coming up with the biggest assumptions in the world.
I mean, I would agree with him.
You can witness
how. These guys haven't been together for years. They're just meeting each other. They barely know each other.
See, this is what I was saying. If y'all have played football before, you would know that the camaraderie and the hard work and dedication means a lot more than somebody just having talent. We was ready to throw Tyreek Hill out of here because he wasn't showing the dedication that we felt like he should have for this team.
There's high schools out here that are running wing T formation, destroying actually good teams because they just know how to build and work together. Like you don't need the top dogs to win.
Yo, you don't know. You don't.
Who did the 2007 Giants have to beat the undefeated Patriots in the Super Bowl? They were a wild card. They weren't even above 500.
Okay, they were a team that could possibly be a playoff team. We're a team that most media is predicting to be a bottom 2 or 3 team.
And that's how you make your money this year, dude.
Where do you gain camaraderie? Where do you gain camaraderie with each other? By going to war with each other. By breaking bread with each other. These guys don't even know each other.
By not blowing off and leaving early. By not running your Soul Surfer store. You know what I mean? Like these teammates are there for each other, man.
So
wrong. All right, so how does that give them? How does that give them talent?
You don't know that, Miller. You do.
How does that give them talent?
Stop spewing shit you don't know.
All you can do is go off of the reports.
No one's reporting that. No one's reporting they're holding hands, going to lunch together, being there for each other. No one's reporting that.
They are saying that this is different because they did come out with the reports about how last year it wasn't like that. People were missing meetings. People weren't showing up. Yes, people
were missing meetings. Everybody knows that. Yes, Jeff Hafley's holding people accountable. Cool.
It's the players that are holding people accountable.
Hey, Big C, drop the link. Drop the link for Lewis. We need some intelligence up here.
What you mean some fucking intelligence, you fucking prick? Like, don't be goddamn acting like that. Well, he the one said it, though. We need some intelligence up here, assuming everybody is stupid, but him. I mean, come on, you can't let him.
You're right, because you're right, because you think that because people are holding hands after practice, they're going to be a good team.
I didn't say they was holding hands. I didn't say they was holding hands. They didn't come out of my mouth. But when you got players,
I wasn't referring to you. It doesn't matter. I wasn't referring to you, but the Dolphins are going to suck this year, and it has to do with talent.
Show it up with the quarterback. Show it up with the quarterback to get reps in before training camp starts. That shows that we have some players that are dedicated to playing this fucking sport, bro.
Great.
you talking
Dedication
about?
doesn't win games. Dedication doesn't win games. Plain
Yes,
and
it
simple.
does.
What wins games
Listen,
is talent.
he
Hey man,
wasn't.
If
bro,
talent
He
is the only thing that
didn't.
won games, how did the Broncos make the
he didn't
playoffs in
play sports,
2020?
bro.
Time
He
out.
didn't play
Time out for a
sports, bro.
second.
He was a cheerleader on the side trying to talk numbers now. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Excuse my language.
Go
My
ahead,
father
Miller.
is disrespectful.
First of all, good morning to all. Um,
What up, Lou?
sounds like football is back. Um, Realistically, without talking about ifs and possibilities, right? I don't want to use the word if or possibilities. How many people do you feel confident in on this Dolphin roster out of a 53-man roster? How many guys do we sit here and say, realistically, are players?
Miller says all of them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Miller respectfully doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. But
And you do?
well, I'm just saying, if you say that we have 53 men on this roster that all can play, you're just respectfully, again, I'm saying respectfully, you're wrong. But
I
I don't
mean,
tell people
we
how
can
to
all
think.
we can have our own opinions. I get it, but I'm just
I
letting you know, like, what
Right.
makes me wrong? Like, you're just making a
Well,
blanket statement
I'm
saying
just
I'm
saying,
wrong. How do we
I
know
didn't
that
make
we
a,
don't have 53
I
men
didn't
on this
even make a
roster that can
statement. I
beat
came in
Kansas
here,
and other teams?
I didn't even make a statement. I came in here and asked realistically, without using the word if or possibility, right? How many guys do we have on this roster that we feel confident in? If you can't do it, Miller, I'll start. I'll say Devon A. Chain. I think everybody would agree is a player. I think Jordan
Yes.
Brooks is a player. There's two. I think Aaron Brewer is a player. There's three. I think Patrick
Caden
Paul from what
Proctor.
Caden Proctor is a possibility. We haven't seen him play A down yet in the NFL. That's what I'm saying. Let's not talk ifs or possibilities. Let's talk about known, what we
How's that
have.
a possibility? He's literally the most dominant guard on our team right now at camp.
Because Jamarcus
You know
Russell.
what?
Because of
Y'all got
Jamarcus
it.
Russell.
That's crazy. Again, I hate
So you're
not
really
to,
holding nothing done in training camp. So what? You're not giving any real,
you're talking
evaluation
about
until
good
we play
vibes and
Washington.
you're talking about good vibes and people holding hands at camp, and that's why you think this team is going to win games.
See, that's the narrative that I don't fuck with, bro. Because how are we all holding hands and singing kumbaya? These are people that need to make a
But you
roster to
said they
have a
were
future in the league. This
that's what you.
isn't this
So you're
isn't
talking
sit
about
around the campfire,
possibilities.
hang out. This is
So you're
I need
talking
to make
about
this roster, so I'm
possibilities.
gonna punch you in the mouth.
So you're talking about possibilities, though. And you know what's crazy to me? And I'm not saying you, Miller. I'm just saying a lot of people in the Dolphin land. When we had Tua Tagovailoa here, and the word "if" always happened with Tua. If he can win the big game, if he could just show up, if he could stay healthy, right? Everybody
Yep.
hated the word "if" when Tua was here. Now Tua's out, and all I hear is "if" and possibilities.
I haven't said the word if
Why
once.
can't we talk about reality? Reality is this roster is a void of talent. So again, do you like the move Sully is making and the accountability that I heard Kenna talking about and holding? Again, great.
Yes.
I agree. I like everything that they're doing. Just like I liked it when Brian Flores was doing it. You know what Brian Flores' record was with a deficient football team his first year? 5-11. They were building something because in the
You got to
following
put a
year
little context in that 5-11 because
they
Chris
went
Greer was
10 and
signing corners
they went
weekly.
10-7 his second year. So again, we're building. This team has a
Chris
void
Greer
of
was
talent, and you're not
actively
competing.
ruining the
You're not
roster.
competing with this roster. You're not.
How can you say that, dude? Chris Greer was actively ruining the roster in 2019. He was cutting
There's
and
no more you
signing
can
corners.
ruin the roster. We tore the
Do
roster down
hey,
except for a few players.
hey, Big C. You know what's crazy? All the Chris Greer. I love this Chris Greer conversation. Does anybody follow Dave Hyde by chance? Y'all know who Dave Hyde is?
Yeah.
I know who Dave Hyde is.
Dave Hyde has been covering this Dolphin team for 40 plus years in South Florida. He covers South Florida sports in general for 40 fucking years. Read his article from yesterday. You know who had, now again, I know a guy in the community. Kenna, you probably heard of him. Maybe all of y'all heard of him. Oh, it was me. 3 years ago, I told people that I had heard that Tom Garfinkel was making football decisions on personnel, this, that, and the third. You know what Dave Hyde just wrote yesterday? When Silman took over and they let go or they relieved the duties of Tom Garfinkel? Tom Garfinkel was having football decisions on personnel, on player staying, on people getting contracts, this, that, and the third. So all this Miller talk that, oh, Chris Greer was holding the roster. I'm not here to know what Chris Greer was doing. But what I do know is Tom Garfinkel had football decisions. He was the one making football decisions. Go read the article. You don't want to believe me? Believe Dade High.
Because Garfinkel made a few decisions, he made all the decisions.
How do you know it's a few? Because you said so.
How do you know it was all?
Read the article.
I'm genuinely asking. How
again,
the boss, you're the boss.
Read the article. You do know
failure.
you do know that Chris Greer had to answer to Tom Garfinkel. You do know that, right? On every decision.
I know he does. Obviously, that's his boss. But I'm also asking, if you're hired to do a job and you're being the scapegoat for year 4, year 5, why in the world are you?
Chris Greer should have been fired. No one is saying Chris Greer shouldn't have been fired.
Able to do the job he's hired
We're not
for.
saying Chris Greer shouldn't have been fired. What we're saying is people like you that blame him for everything. Y'all, again, don't know what's going on really with the football team. And I'm just saying, learn a little bit. Tom Garfinkel, how do you know Tom Garfinkel wasn't telling Chris Greer? You do remember the reports that Chris Greer had a 4th-round pick for Calais Campbell, but was told no. You do know that Chris Greer didn't want to give Tua that 5th. He wanted him to play on the 5th-year option, but he was told no. You do know that Chris Greer didn't want to hire Mike McDaniel because the day Mike McDaniel was hired in front of the press conference, go back to that interview when Chris Greer said he was ready to move forward with 2 or 3 different candidates, but he was told no, hire Mike McDaniel. You do know that, right?
You do know Chris Greer also drafted
I'm asking you, do you know all that, right? I'm asking you, do you know all that, though, right? But I'm asking you, do you know that, right? Did you know all that?
I didn't know it all, but I did know some. But thank you. I do appreciate that. Genuinely. I didn't know.
The fact of the matter is, you don't think other teams have camaraderie around the league that have more talent than we do? You don't, again, I don't know how you think we've gained so much camaraderie when you got a bunch of players that have just met each other. So many one-year guys that have never played for the Dolphins before in their lives, never played with each other before in their lives.
You think these players never met before the first day of training camp or OTAs?
I think a lot of them don't know each other from Adam.
Hey, Big C, here's something. So you're saying that money and talent wins games?
I think it's a major part. I don't think it's all.
You do?
But
then what the hell? Miami spent more money on talent than anybody in the league last few years.
And
I know it comes down to coaching.
There was reasons.
Oh,
that we didn't
now
win.
it's coaching.
But when you have talent, you can't
coaching
put
is a major part.
What?
Coaching is a major part, but there was.
Players not buying in is a major part. What you gonna do?
There was 2 players that didn't buy in, Jalen Ramsey and Tyreek Hill. You think they're the reasons we didn't win?
Yeah.
So you think
you don't get the 2 alphas to buy in. You don't get the 2 alphas to buy in. Nobody else is buying in.
You're right. So you think a guy that almost had 1,800 yards back-to-back seasons is the reason that we weren't winning?
They have what now?
Tyreek Hill in his first 2 years, he played here 3. He had almost 1,800 yards in consecutive seasons. You believe that's the reason we weren't winning because of that guy?
100%. He was force-fed, and he made it in his contract.
So a guy that was giving you 1,800 yards of production offensively.
The guy that was worried about himself. Okay. The guy that was worried about himself.
You got to put it in contract. You got to put.
Why didn't he stay with Kansas City?
I believe panel shows are some of the. I believe some panel shows are terrible. That's what I believe.
That year.
No, I'm just saying that Tyreek cared about himself. He's always did.
Well, Lou, he
left Kansas City. He left Kansas City because they didn't want him to be. They didn't want him to be just the sole receiver. He went down to Miami because Hey, he was gonna be the only.
He wanted the bag. He
receiver.
wanted to get paid. That don't make you a bad guy because you want to get paid.
Kansas City was gonna pay him.
Lou, I
what
agree
about
with
Jalen
you
Ramsey?
with
He
panel.
was a
Time
selfish
out.
player. He wanted to get paid.
Time out.
Is he a bad guy or no?
Time out. I mean, he was selfish. He was selfish. We didn't have to pay him though. He was under contract. They chose to pay him. They chose to trade for, you know what I mean? They chose to trade for that type of player. But panel shows I agree with you. You know, but this is the vast majority of the Dolphins community that believe this way. It's not just the few people that are on this panel or that come up and talk. It's just crazy to me that the vast majority, because certain podcasters are going around and saying 10 wins, 12 wins. You know, did you hear Pete yesterday?
They can believe what they want.
No,
That's
I
the
didn't
thing
hear Pete.
about football. They can believe whatever they want.
They're talking about, and everybody can, right? Obviously.
Yeah. Who cares?
Yesterday, Pete
I
talking
don't
about
think we've ever had a team this bought in.
0-17 now. He went
Yeah,
from
I heard that too.
0-17 because they made Danny Stillman in charge.
Denny Stillman, man, come on! You got that Stillman thing. The man put his son-in-law in a thing. Who do you think don't still sign the checks?
He's not making football decisions anymore.
Who's still signing the checks?
It doesn't matter. He's not making football.
Who's still signing the checks?
Stephen Ross has always signed the checks, but he didn't make football moves. We just heard that Tom Garfinkel was making football moves.
That's right, but still, if you ever been part of a big corporation, the president hardly ever hears anything about the company. He just cares if it's making money, and if it's making money, he's good to go. It's when you don't make money is when you have to go to the office, and then you have to explain to him.
I understand that, but we just heard Lou say that Dave Hyde said that's not what was going on here. That the president was making football decisions when he had no right to be making football decisions. So yeah, that's a positive thing moving forward. But again, people want to ignore that we had to tear all the bad mojo, the bad business deals, all the bad decisions this franchise made over the last 5 years. We had to tear that all down, and we're just in the first year of fixing that. So how do you automatically jump to the elite of the NFL? And I say elite of the NFL. If you make the playoffs, you're elite. You're an elite team. Because only how many teams make the playoffs?
So you saying North Carolina Panthers last year was elite?
I mean, obviously that division's bad, but I mean they were more. You know what I mean?
Hey, they made the playoffs.
Again, you can, like I said, you can pick every Stephon Diggs that was drafted in the 5th round, but for every Stephon Diggs, there's 150 wide receivers that didn't make it.
There's 150 wide receivers in the 1st round that didn't make it.
You're right.
So it doesn't matter.
You guys are the ones that try to pick out one singular name. We hear Tom Brady in the 6th round. Name another quarterback in NFL history drafted in the 6th round that made the Hall of Fame. Oh, because Tom Brady was drafted. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Wait. Damn, I can't think of his name. But there's another one that's been drafted late that made it a long time ago. But you're right. It doesn't happen much and stuff. And you got one that could make the Hall of Fame playing right now.
Okay.
Good. I ain't saying he will.
We have
and he was picked in the 7th round.
Salary cap space. We have a new head coach. We have a new general manager. We have new offensive schemes. We got new defensive schemes. We got a bunch of new players that need to learn how to play with each other. We got a bunch of rookies coming in that need to learn how to play ball at the pro level. We have a bunch of second-year guys that need to continue to grow. It's not crazy to think, not to mention the hard schedule. It's not a new quarterback that's never been a starter.
Well,
there's just so many things working against the Miami Dolphins this year.
because of the schedule, I don't think. Hey, technically, because of the schedule, I don't think a team in the AFC East wins over 11 games. There'll be 10 or 11 games at the most, and that's the division winner. So we all play the same schedule except for 3 games. It's not like, oh, they're going to win 14, 15 games like last year. No. But this team, you just don't know about any team at this time of year. Now, once they start playing, only thing I don't want, and it's pitiful, is I just don't want to go into go and play these scrimmages against these other teams and get whipped like we did last year. That was embarrassing to say, hey, they punked us last year. They had all that talent and we got punked in preseason.
You can't say that. You can't say we don't.
We did get punked.
Time out. I'm not talking about it. You can't say that we know what we got in preseason. Right now, are the Cleveland Browns a good football team?
What?
Are the Cleveland Browns a good football team? The Cleveland Browns going to make the playoffs?
I don't know. They got a good enough defense to do it. Their running game's okay.
Do they? They just traded their best defensive player away.
Yeah, but they still got a good defense.
Are the Cardinals going to make the playoffs? Their fans. Well, I don't know. Well, I see some crazy. I see some crazy things. A few years ago, when the Cardinals, last year, what was it? Last year when Indianapolis started 7-2. I never seen that coming. We're talking about crazy. Wow!
I thought that was crazy.
The Cardinals are going to be the worst team in the league outside of Miami and possibly the Jets. Like, what are we talking about here?
See, I don't think the Jets are going to be all that bad.
I don't believe.
Quick, guys, go ahead and talk.
I don't believe in their head coach. Again, maybe the Jets win 6 games. Okay, cool. What's the point? Why would you want to win 6 games when the Jets have 3 first-round picks? Like, if I'm the Jets, I'd rather win 1 game than 6, because 6 is not even mediocre.
See, I can't jump on that losing mentality. I can't do that.
I'm not. Again, so 6 wins a winning mentality?
No, but it's still trying to win. You can't teach players to not win. Oh, let's just win 1 game. You're trying to teach those players to win every game.
You can try to win, but if you're deficient of talent, like I heard you earlier, Glenn, when you were talking about we play the same teams, that is fact. Everybody in the AFC will play the exact same teams outside of those 3 games. Some teams in our division, though, are more equipped with personnel to play against those teams. We are not. We're deficient of talent. I don't know why is it so hard for people to understand that. This is not a good football team overall. They have some young talent that needs to be developed, and over time, possibly, you could have something. Realistically, this season is a learning curve for not only the general manager, for the head coach, and a lot of these players. This is not a good football team.
And then another thing, you always say what, 42? What is that? 42? What do you call it? 42 1-year players.
1-year contracts.
You know, a lot of those ain't making it.
So how are you going to fill out the roster then?
You most of your players will be, you're right, rookie, 2nd year, and 3rd year players. That don't be most of your rookie. That will be most of your thing.
And a lot of them, like the Lonnie Johnson Jr.'s, the Ronnie Harrison, those kind of guys, the Marco Wilsons, those are veteran kind of guys, 5th, 6th, 7th year guys, and they've never been anything. So you think a guy that's been in the league 6, 7 years that hasn't been nothing, you think by year 8 now it's just automatic, well, he's a Dolphin. Click.
I ain't even counting on those. For a matter of fact, where we're going to get hurt, where we're going to really get hurt is once players go down. That there's no, I mean, you could pick a starting lineup and say, okay, that's good. But then you look at the backups, and you're like, holy smokes, this is real bad. That's where it drops off.
And I agree with
You
that.
could
And
look
our
and say,
starters,
hey, I could look at the starters and say, yeah, they need some experience, but okay, we could be good. And but man, those backups, that's where the money hurt is on the backup players.
right?
That's where
Our
you're hurting.
And our starters and backups are trash.
Well, I ain't gonna say because most of our starters are going to be first, second, and third year players.
And okay, cool. That's why I asked Glenn. Maybe you weren't up here. How many guys on the Dolphins roster that you believe are going to make the team? How many do you think can we say are good right now? That are hey, we know what we're getting this year from these guys. How many guys do you think you can name?
You everybody's hoping that these people can get taught up real well, and what they're using is Jonah as a thing. Look, Jonah played real bad last year, but man, he looks okay this year. Well, when you look like the worst offensive line last year, it don't take much to get improved and stuff. And I hope it is for Jonah. I hope the best for Jonah. But
yeah,
you're right. On the part that we're hoping they're getting trained up and doing it. If they're trained up and they're better than what they were last year, that's just how piss poor the coaching was last year. Now, I ain't gonna say that, but expect every rookie to come in and think you don't have learning curves. I don't know where this team going in. I do believe they'll win more than 4 games, and I'm looking up between 5 and 7 games at the most. Miami always does it. We always end up with the 12th pick, which ain't the best. But every year they do it to us. Even when we had a chance. Well, we didn't win no games at first, and then we won 5 of the last 6 games just to knock us out of getting Burrows or something. Miami don't do it to you again. And that's what I expect. I expect them to be real bad. And as the season gets better, towards the end, they will be better. And a lot better. And if they're competitive in a game, that means their running game's winning. And if your running game is working and you're competitive, you're in the game, you have a chance to win at the end.
Until teams start taking advantage of your lack of talent at certain positions. And
then you're not being competitive. Then you're not competitive in the game.
I mean, you can keep it competitive for most of the game until teams decide to step on your neck. You know what I mean?
Wait. If you're competitive, that means Miami's running, and those teams ain't stopping it, and you can do what you want. Then the receivers come open and stuff. But Miami's problem will be
until they force you to pass and they start throwing the ball on you.
That's where Miami's problem will be when they get down by 14 to 17 points, and they can't run, and they have to be forced to pass. That's where the problem will be.
Or you got to score it. You got to score in 2 minutes, or you got to stop.
Well, 2 minutes you can still run the ball. You can still run the ball in 2 minutes.
Oh my God.
I mean,
you can.
At some point, you got to throw the football, Glenn. They're going to stack the box.
But
they're going to allow you to run.
If you stack the box, I'm burning you. If you stack the box every time, I'm burning you.
You burning them? Who are you burning them with?
With Jalen Tolbert? You know what I mean?
Like who you burning them with? At training camp, we haven't been able to create any separation. You know, in every day of training camp so far, this offense has had turnovers, and I'm not even saying it's coming from the quarterbacks, but receivers can't catch the ball. The ball's hitting the receiver's hands. They drop it. It bounces in the air for whatever reason. It's either picked off or they make the catch and then they get it punched out of their hand. This is the worst receiving core in the league. We could possibly have the worst secondary in the league. We have no right tackle. We have no right tackle. Austin Jackson is already hurt. Jonas Salvanea was the worst graded guard last year. People are saying that Patrick Paul this season in training camp has looked god-awful. Like, what is the hopes and dreams?
Wait. I have heard that Steve, I heard from people that's been at the thing that Patrick Paul looked okay.
Right. You're probably talking
they're
to
looking
people that
okay.
want to believe it.
No, I'm talking
terrible.
I'm talking to writers and stuff that don't have a thing in here.
Right. Don't believe the writers, because the writers most of them get paid by the Dolphins. Travis Wingfield is a paid assassin. He's going to lie to you to tell you how great this football team is.
And
I'm talking
you
to
could tell.
actual people.
I talk to actual people that've been there.
Me too. And what I'm saying is you're probably talking to happy-go-lucky fans that just want to believe in this team. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say Caleb Douglas is balling out.
You're talking to the guy that don't want to believe and wants to have 0-17 so he can get that first pick in the draft.
No. The guy that I do a show with. No. I'm trying to explain to you. The guy that I do a show with, he said that the Dolphins were probably going to win 10 to 11 games. So he's going out there, and when he said that they were going to win 10 and 11 games, and now he's seeing that they're trash in front of his face, he's not going to come out here and lie like all these other people are going to. This team don't have no talent, Glenn.
Lewis, did he change his prediction now?
I think we'll wait to closer, Michael K, to the end of the preseason and give our final prediction so people can hold us accountable for our picks. But no. I think, if you listen to Tone, again, he's going to shoot it straight. He's going to be positive when there's things positive, and he's going to tell you what it is again, bro, you can see, Michael K, I know people probably get at you because you always say, oh, it's the dud fins. This team don't have no talent, Michael K.
Well, I know your two veteran receivers are on 1 year minimum contracts. They're both making $1,402,000, $402,500. Can't even get it out. What a stupid number. If they were any good, another team would have picked them up and signed them for 3 years, $10 or $12 million.
Omar Kelly's saying that he'd cut Tutu Atwell right now. Would cut him. That's
the receivers. That's the receivers. Now you're going in with an unproven quarterback with what is without a doubt the worst wide receivers in the league. It can't be good. It just can't be good. Not saying they're not going to have decent games, but over a 17-game season, it's not going to be good. Who do you have? Achan? You have Achan that's going to line up outside. Which, if that's the case, he's going to get hammered by a safety, and the dude might not get up.
Pretty much. People come out here on a day-to-day basis, and they tell people that Caleb Douglas is balling at practice. They throw him 2 balls a practice. He drops one and catches one, and people say he's balling. People say that he's dominant.
Again, even if he was, against who?
Against nobodies. But I'm just saying, the last time they practiced, they said, Caleb Douglas, did you see what he was doing? Again, we have live updates. He got thrown 2 passes the entire practice. Now, I'm just asking anybody on this panel or anybody in the chat, how do you dominate with 2 attempts?
I guess you catch them both.
He dropped one of them, Big C.
Oh. Well, 50-50 is not bad, I guess.
Okay. You see what I'm saying? What are we talking about here?
Yeah, I know.
You're talking about practice where you don't know what they're trying to do. You already wonder what they're trying to do.
What's a receiver? What's a receiver's job, Glenn? Glenn, what's a receiver's job?
Yeah, but it also depends on the quarterback and everything else too.
Glenn, what is the receiver's job?
All it is to go over there and run your route. That is your receiver's job.
So catching the ball, so you don't have to catch the ball. You just got to run your route.
Well, you have to run your route, but if you don't run your route, you ain't catching the ball. Come on, we know it's to catch the ball, but you have to run your route right. You have to be in the right spot.
Well, you know what? The Dolphins cut out 7-on-7s because they wanted to mask the deficiencies they have at receiver. That's the only reason to cut out 7-on-7s.
7-on-7.
Now you only have 14 guys you got to watch instead of 22 and you're going to see the deficiencies.
Man, 7-on-7 is what we used to do in high school in the backyard.
And they still
Everybody was open. Everybody was open.
Exactly. That's the exact point. Everybody was open.
So why do 7-on-7s
and nobody can get open? What does that tell you?
So why do 7-on-7s?
Bet.Helga says we got no talent, ? We still got more talent than last year's still on team. No, we don't. Where did you replace Fitzpatrick? Where did you replace Bradley Chubb? And I'm not big on Fitzpatrick, Bradley Chubb. Where did you replace Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle? Where did you replace these players? Darren Waller. Where did you replace these guys? Rasul Douglas. Where did you replace them? Who'd you replace them with? Some rookies?
I'll tell you, I'd like to have Douglas on my team.
Some rookies? You replace them with rookies that are not coming into the league and playing at the same level as the guys I just mentioned. They're just not.
And how many of those players you just named that played the whole year last year?
I mean, Fitzpatrick played most of the year. Bradley Chubb played most of the year. Rasul Douglas played all the year, I think. Waddle played most of the year. Yeah, Tyreek did.
Most.
Again, you think these all the players that are replacing
and how many game? And how many sacks did Chubb have last year?
8.5 led the team. More than anybody else.
8.5.
More than anybody else, though, Glenn.
So that's less than half a sack a game.
I'm not saying he's great, but he was better than everybody else. Who's going to have 8.5 this year?
Because he was given the most opportunity last year.
Bet out of hell, yeah. 4 of our best players from last year are still on the team. Yes, they are, but we didn't win a bunch of games with those players last year, added to the players that I mentioned.
I just ain't high on them. Who my problem is at the end, those players were dropping fast. They were not producing for what you paid for them.
Oh. Do you
think Waddle produced enough?
You think Caleb Douglas is going to produce more than Waddle?
I don't know.
No, come on, bro. You do know, Glenn, because you've seen
Waddle
produce at a high level. You've seen Jalen Waddle produce at a high level in the NFL. Have you seen Caleb Douglas produce against a NFL caliber corner ever? Nope, you haven't.
Hey, but have you seen Caleb play in the NFL? So you can't use that.
Yes, I can.
No, you
I
can't
play against any pro caliber corners in college, neither.
So what does that matter? That doesn't matter.
It matters that you're saying that I don't know if he can produce.
You don't know.
Jalen Waddle can. I'm saying he can't. I got proof that Jalen Waddle can produce at a high level. You have zero proof.
Wait. You have proof that
Jalen Waddle didn't have a Pro Bowl caliber year.
When?
His career, he's never had a Pro Bowl caliber year.
With Tyreek?
So what?
Did he ever go to the Pro Bowl?
I don't know. Has Caleb Douglas ever gone to the Pro Bowl?
You see, you already scratching a guy that just got in the NFL. You can't scratch a guy and say, this is what he's going to do.
Been a dropper of the football his whole life.
Oh, Waddle.
No, Caleb Douglas.
Waddle has been.
Caleb Douglas, a dropper of the football.
Oh, I thought you were talking Waddle.
Jalen Waddle was a first-round draft pick.
Waddle was dropping it in the first round.
Again, you can't. You got to look at the whole picture. It doesn't make you less of a fan to understand where our team is currently at.
No, I understand.
We replaced the front office for we replaced damn near the whole front office, because if you remember, they fired a bunch of guys at the beginning of all this. Then we replaced Tom Garfinkel. We replaced our general manager. We replaced our head coach. We replaced our quarterback. Not to mention all the veterans that we let go of because of their big contracts that we couldn't afford. We replaced all those guys. We brought in young, talented players. I'll give you that. I think a lot of the young guys that we brought in as far as the draft the last 2 years are talented. Have they proven a lot? No, not yet. Can they produce? Sure. But they're unproven, they're undeveloped young players. They still need to grow. To think that in a year where everything is brand new schemes, brand new concepts, brand new playbooks, brand new way of coaching, brand new way of doing things, brand new way of practicing, to think that you're going to get all that with a bunch of inexperienced young players that are undeveloped with a year that you got $120 million as far as dollars to spend to put your team together when every other team's got close to $300 million. If you think that you're going to compete at a high level in this league, it's just delusional.
So what this really matters is everything we saying. It might be, you might be right, I might be, but the problem, the only thing that really matters is if you believe or not that Willis could carry the team.
Willis can't carry Scrubs to the.
No. If you're a good quarterback, you could carry a team.
No, you can't. You can't carry a bunch. You can't carry.
New England fucking Brady carried that team for years.
New England, you're going to compare this team to the Patriots.
Wait.
No, you're
Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen carries that team.
You're going to compare the Buffalo Bills roster to this roster.
I'm telling you, it matters about the quarterback. Can the quarterback carry the team?
I'm not saying it don't. No? I'm not saying it don't matter. But you can't put together a team with less than half your cap space dictated the players that are no longer here. He's carrying a roster that has limited talent because he's getting paid a bunch of money. Yeah, they got limited what they can bring in the door, but they're still spending $300 million on the roster. The Dolphins don't have that. We're paying a $60 million quarterback that's not even here.
I understand that. I understand where Miami is, and I ain't trying to say Miami don't win 10, 11 games. I never said that.
So what's the argument?
The argument is give a team a chance before you squash them and see what happens.
A chance to
play, see what they could do. They might be so dumb.
I know what they can do. They can win you 5-6 games.
They might be so dumb that they don't realize they're supposed to be losing.
Come on, Glenn. This team, I know what they can do. They can win you 5-6 games max. That's what they can do. And I hate to be the one to say I told you so, but I goddamn will sure be that one, and it's gonna pain me. And anybody that watches the game with me on Sundays, they'll realize that it hurts me to watch this team lose, and I don't want to have to be right. But this team, you can't build a winning team with what we currently have. You can't do it. 45 minimum contract players. $120 million to spend on our roster. It's just not feasible to think that you can put together a playoff caliber roster.
See, that's the one thing. You giving this team already excuse. I don't give teams excuse. I'm too old to give teams excuse.
Not excuses, it's reasoning.
Those are excuses.
It's not an excuse. It's a reason. It's a reason.
It's an excuse. You put yourself in this situation. You dig yourself out.
No, that's not it.
That's how it, man, I'm too old to be waiting to say, oh, well, maybe next year.
It doesn't matter how old you are that's not going to change the fact of what we currently have.
It doesn't, and you're right, but you don't know what we currently have.
I do know. I do know. No, I'm not assuming. I'm assuming. I know.
You're assuming.
No, I'm not assuming. I know you guys are assuming. You guys are all assuming that Caleb Douglas can play at this level. This guy can play at this level. This person can do this. This person can do that. You guys are assuming. I got facts. I got truths. I know that we got 120 million compared to everybody else that's got 300. I know that.
Not everybody has 300. Only anybody had 300. Everybody had cap space.
Close. All right, close. Everybody's way closer to 300 than we are. we got the worst cap space in NFL history. I know we got the most minimum contract players on our team, NFL history.
A minimum contract out of 90 players.
40 some of them. Almost half.
42 out of 90.
Almost half.
Okay. And how many? So you're only doing stick with 53. So you have to take all that. Now, when the season starts, it won't be 42 or 43.
All right. You don't think any of them are going to make the team?
Some of them will. But all teams have 15, probably 10 to 20 damn players that are minimum contract, at least.
All right. Glenn, regardless, this Miami Dolphins team is not they're not a team that's going to compete for the playoffs this year.
No, they're not going to compete for playoffs.
They're not New England last year they were projected 4 wins or whatever. New England went out and spent New England spent more money in free agency last year than we have to put our whole team together this year.
On what?
Literally.
On the defense side.
It doesn't matter. They spent more money in free agency than
on the defensive side
to spend on our whole team this year.
And what did they spend on? What did they have in? Didn't they have to wait till like the second round or something just to get a draft pick? I don't know.
Miller, how is Caleb Douglas performing in camp? Lou just told you that tone is there. Caleb Douglas is catching 2-3 passes a day, bro.
2 or 3 passes a day, and they ain't playing, but they're switching up. He might go out for 4 or 5 routes in a day. You don't know.
He's saying, listen, Glenn, regardless, would you consider 2 or 3 catches dominant?
Nobody's dominant in practice.
Well, I'm saying, Miller's saying, when's the last time you've seen a player like Caleb Douglas at camp? Doing what? That's what I'm saying. Doing what? And
I don't know what these players are going to do.
This is why the community's so messed up. Because you have people that spread fake rumors, spread fake things. You got people like Pete, who was telling everybody and their mother that this was a playoff team, a division title winning team, and now they're talking about going 0-17. You just got the fake bullshit going around the community so much that you got everybody drinking the Kool-Aid. And
man, I don't know what this team is.
People, listen, you guys, give yourselves more credit. As fans, give yourselves more credit. You deserve more credit than what you're currently giving yourselves. You know this team isn't good. You know it. You've seen bad teams. You know what bad teams look like. You know this team ain't ready to compete just because we replaced Tua Tagovailoa. And that's what it really comes down to. The people that call other people Tua-neers, they hate Tua more than people that love Tua. And they think that because Tua's gone, that this team is just going to go to the promised land. And that's not the truth, fact. That's not the truth whatsoever.
And then you had the people that were Tua-neers last year, just hoping and praying that this team sucks, so they could say, "Oh, look, with Tua, we would have been better."
Then you're not a real Dolphin fan. Then you're not a Dolphin fan. If you want this team to suck, I'm saying we're gonna suck. We're not gonna be. I'm not saying we're gonna suck. I'm saying we're not gonna win a lot of games. But if you want this team to lose because Tua's not here, you're not a Dolphin fan. Because as much as I think this team's not going to win a bunch of games, each and every one of them losses is going to hurt me to my core. Each and every one of them losses is going to hurt me to my core.
My thing is, you say the games. See, I can't see us being competitive. And here's my whole deal about this thing: you cannot say you don't be competitive, and then all of a sudden, because if you're running the only way Miami don't be competitive is if they're running the game, if they're running the ball. Is that not correct? And if you're running the ball, you always have a chance in the third and fourth quarter to win the game because you can run the ball.
Until teams put pressure on you and force you to do things that you don't do well, Glenn. Teams aren't going to let you hang out. Teams aren't going to let you hang around all the way to the last 2 minutes of a game and let you just run the ball all over them. Teams aren't going to let you do that, Glenn. Teams are eventually
They do it all the time.
They're going to stack the box and make you beat them through the air with your mediocre wide receiver room.
Teams do that all the time. Why do you think Cleveland beats Baltimore or Cleveland beats Pittsburgh? Because they let them to stick around. They let them to run the ball. And then at the end, they get the field goal to win the game.
Again, Glenn, our wide receiver room is almost historically bad. It's historically bad to a point. This wide receiver room's a joke. We don't even know what we got in our quarterback. Yeah, you don't. We had an impressive 3 games. We don't know.
Now on his part, now on Willis's part, is what have you done for me lately? And his last 3 games look pretty good. So I will give him a little bit benefit of doubt. I do wish it was more, but I ain't on hold Tennessee something that happened 4 years ago to something that happened last year.
Listen, I'm not holding them. I'm not holding them against them either. But the facts of the matter are, and I think he's got elite traits, and I'm hoping and praying that he performs at a high level. He's got a strong arm. He can make the throws, and I kind of feel bad for the guy because I think he's not getting a fair shake, and we're not going to get to see what Malik can really be because he's limited with his wide receiver options. You know what I mean? He's limited with who he's throwing it to. So we're not going to get to see what Malik could really do if he had a Tyreek Hill or a Jamar Chase.
Does your wide receiver change if is Chris Bell and Douglas on the outside?
If Chris Bell was here, it changes a little bit, but he's still a rookie coming off a major injury. Again, you know what I mean? So he's only going to, Glenn, we all know how those injuries, they're not usually the same player until 2 years. You know what I mean?
No, his thing will not, I don't think it will be. First of all, if I had to guess, he goes on the PUP the first 4 weeks. He does not come back until after the bye, which is the 6th week, if anything. That's my guess.
If you're lucky.
Okay.
Wide receivers, we got 3 rookies that were the best on their college. They haven't produced once in the NFL. You know who's the best wide receiver on their college team? Devontae Parker. You know what I mean? He was the best receiver on his college team too. There's lots of players that were the best player on their college team and then get to the pros and aren't anything.
Devontae Parker problem was it wasn't that he wasn't talented. He just got hurt so much he couldn't improve his talent. And he was hurt all the time.
He was known to get hurt when we drafted him. Yet he continued to get hurt because he is who we thought he was. But again, you know what I mean? Bad out of hell. No one wants this team to be bad. Nobody does. Hit that like button, please. Subscribe, comment, share. If you want to watch games on Sunday with Big C, become a member of the channel. It's going to be a good time.
I think here's what I think, and then I'll let you go. I think like TD, he goes overboard. Some people that go on 11th thing, they're pushing that too hard, too much. But you're on the other side of the fence, and you're like, this is so bad of a team that there's no way they even win that many. It's like, why can't we just?
You think I'm too far gone?
Yeah, I think you're all the way on the other side.
So time out. So 5 or 6 wins is too far gone.
No, I'm saying
because this team could win 1 game, 2 games. So I think I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I think I'm giving them. I don't think that I'm too far gone whatsoever. I think 6 wins is. I think 6 wins they can get to. So
I'm looking now. I am with you on that. I said 5 to 7 games. And that's because they always do it.
So, Glenn, if I come right in the middle of what you say, how am I too far gone?
Yeah, but I'm just saying how you talk.
Positive.
How you talk about the team. I'm talking about not the record, but the team. And oh my God, we're like you're looking at one's looking at the cup half empty and the other one's half full. I mean,
because Glenn, because people are forcing me to do that. I don't like to do that. I want to talk about the positives. I want to talk about the positive things on this football team. I want to talk about our young players. I want to talk about the positive things.
I mean, I want them just to develop.
Caleb Douglas is doing in practice. I want to talk about the positive things Chris Johnson does in practice. But no, I get the people that are in here saying we're going to the playoffs, or we're winning this amount of games, that Malik Willis is going to be a superstar. And I can't let it go without telling these people and putting them in their place and letting them know that.
I don't know what this team is going to do.
Glenn, you do, because you've seen bad teams a million times.
Because this could be a one-win team.
You know it's
not. It could be a one-win team all the way up to a 7-win team. I don't know.
It equals a bad team nonetheless.
Well, no, because last year, what was our record last year?
We weren't a good team last year, Glenn.
Oh yeah, that's right. We weren't a good team.
Yeah. We weren't a good team, and we're less
talented with all those high-paid players. We weren't a good team. That's pitiful.
We're less talented. We're less talented this year. We're less talented.
Now, here's the thing: if they win more than 7 games, Hafley needs to be. Hafley needs to be coach of the year.
We won 8 games last year, and we have considerably less talent this year. You want to count the rookies. The rookies aren't going to come in and produce at a high level from day one, so you can't count them.
Hafley wins more than 7 games. He's a coach of the year. There is no question about it. Because he did a coaching job.
Again, I'm willing to bet anybody that want to put that money up. I mean, if you feel real confident in this team,
I ain't putting no money. Hey, but you can't get thing if you just bet more than 4.
Yeah,
you get paid pretty good.
Fantasy football with us this year?
I hate that. That's how bad I hate fantasy football. I despise fantasy football since the 1990s. No, it's not. No, it's not. It sits me at the table. I watch Miami Dolphins and I'm done with football for the day. I don't watch any other game. I go and do stuff with my grandkids or my thing. And what fantasy football I found out does, it sucks up your whole damn day. Your next night, now they have it on 5-6 days a week. And now your whole week.
If you're not trying to watch football all week, I guess it does. You know what I mean? Bat out of hell. How are we more talented this year than last? How are we more talented this year than last?
Who?
Bat out of hell says we're more talented this year than last.
No. This
Big Blue, hit my email.
It's a young team. This team is not more talented than last year. Hell. But last year wasn't a team. That's the difference. Last year wasn't a team. It was individual players looking for themselves. And a coach that got ran over like he was nothing. Like it wasn't even a coach. He just a figure, authority figure. Now there's a lot of problems with this team. You're right. But I just say, hey, let's see what this coach can do. Because this is all about coaching this year. Not about players or anything. It's about coaching. Next year and the year after will be about players.
Big Lou, email me and I'll send you the info. Miller says, we'll pack it up. We're less talented. No reason to even play the games. Laugh out loud. How many times in just the last 3-4 years have we seen a less talented team rise and make waves in even the playoffs? No team like this team, because there's been no team like this team. There's been no team like this team. Miller. None. No team has ever had as much salary cap issues or dead cap as we have this current year. None. Not even close. The Denver Broncos are the second closest team, and they had 30%. We got 60%. 30 to 60. They had half, and that's the second closest. No team has ever had 45 minimum rookie contracts. Minimum salary contracts, my fault. None. Sub Lou. You there?
Quick, because we're starting to get reports coming out of. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted so Miller in the chat was telling me earlier that and by no means, again, we're on, Big C's platform, but Big C or his platform have nothing to do about what I'm about to say. But Miller was telling me about how the dive bar and Finside the NFL and Dudley Durong have been reporting all the positive stuff coming out of camp. And I'm here to say, because those platforms and those certain individuals, they're fanboys of this team. They're cucks, or is what we call them in the industry. They're gonna feed whatever positivity they can in the community so they can run their numbers up. I'm not one of those people. You know that we're practicing today, and Patrick Paul has gotten beat by our seventh round our seventh round draft pick Max Llewellyn out of Iowa. He just beat him. And Patrick Paul also has 2 false start penalties today in practice. I bet you the dive bar ain't gonna tell you that. I bet you Finside the NFL ain't gonna tell you that. Oh, I got another update. Caleb Douglas has been thrown 1 pass today in training camp. He dropped it. I bet you Dudley Durong ain't gonna tell you that. So Big C, I'm sorry. I just wanted to come up and give my friend Miller down there. Stop listening to the cucks and the fanboy of this organization. If you want real information, you can, like you told me, you can go search and find it for yourself. But that's just the updates that I'm getting from camp already. Patrick Paul beat by a 7th round rookie, and 2 false start penalties. And Caleb Douglas, his 1 opportunity day was a drop. Good job.
Well, thanks for the update, Lou. I mean, there you go. Miller says only 2 players are better on the 2024 roster from the Broncos than our roster. They had a Super Bowl winning head coach, and again, they had only 30% of their salary cap dictated the dead cap. We have 60. They had that much more. They had 30% more money to build their team than our team. And they had a Super Bowl winning coach. I like Jeff Hafley. I've been impressed with him so far. But he's not Sean Payton, not yet. Not even close. And you don't take that into account? That don't matter? I just don't see how you guys want to dismiss everything except these rookies and what you think they can do. Everything else don't matter except what you think the rookies can do. That's all that matters. That's crazy to me. It's crazy. I don't want this team to be bad, and I'm happy in the direction we're going, and I hope Caleb Douglas turns into a all-pro. But right now he's got issues, and it's expected, and it's okay that he's got issues because he's a young kid. He's a young rookie trying to play a grown man's game. These kids take time to develop.
Big C, can you highlight Miller's last comment, please?
Right here.
That one right there. Miami Herald reported Chris Bell can't even make cuts or run. I don't believe that, but that's fine. But we had already seen the reports that Chris Bell had been running on a treadmill, so we know he could run. But the cuts is what's crazy. He says the dive bar has provided footage of that. What did the dive bar provide? Because the only footage that out there of Chris Bell was him running a 9 route. I don't know if anybody knows what a 9 route is. It's just running straight. Just like you can run.
I've seen him running some cones. But Omar said he's seen the same thing, and Poop said he's seen the same thing, and they're still saying he's about 70%.
Yeah. What does that matter? The organization has told you anyway that he's not. They're slow playing him. He's going to be on the PUP list for the first 4 weeks of the season. Everybody knows that, right? He's going on the PUP. You won't see him to at least week 5, and that's being generous.
I wouldn't expect to see him till mid-November earliest.
Pretty much. But again, I mean, yeah, the dive bar provided what? The same video that we all seen him running straight. We've already seen that. I just don't get it, man.
And that's why I don't bother really showing highlights like that on my shows, because you've already seen the same shit 30 times. You know what I mean? Like, by the time I get on and I go to post it, you've already seen the same video of him running straight 500 times. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to beat ESPN with it. I'm not going to beat the people that are in the building with it. So what's the sense? But yeah, I mean, he's not ready.
I don't get it.
He's not ready. And everybody knows coming back from that type of injury that it takes, you're not the. So this rookie wide receiver coming back be a number 1 in this league. Is that what you think? That's what you're holding hope for. That's what you're predicting a playoff berth for, is a guy you've never seen step on a pro field coming back from a major injury. That's only at 70% now. And it took him a year to get to 70%. Just is what it is, you know what I mean? Like, I hopefully he turns into an all-pro. Hopefully he does. But because he was a first-round talent, they say, everybody expected him to be Jamar Chase. Come on, guys. Come on. The key year for this football team is next year. You want to be positive Patties next year? I get it. Because that'll be the second year under Jeff Hafley. That'll be the second year with John Eric Sullivan as our general manager. He'll have 2 drafts behind him. He'll have ample salary cap space to make this football team better. It will be better next year. This is the first year of a rebuild. Let it be that. Let it be that. It's okay. It's okay for us to be in the position we're currently in. It's okay to win 4 or 5 games this year. It's okay. Just concentrate on the continued development of the young players on this football team and hope that Jeff Hafley is the right guy for the job and hope that Malik Willis can be the quarterback we hope he is. Okay? Let's go. Let's do that. Let's do that. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. It's fins up. Hit that like button. You know what I mean? It's just, be real. Again, Miller, Omar and Poop were right there and watched it. Right there and watched it. Go watch Dolphin Collective. Omar talks about it. Poop talks about it. He's at about 70%. He's not ready. He's not close to being ready. He's not as close as you think. Even Poop said that he was running, that he can run faster than what Chris Bell was running down the sideline when he was doing that go route. Poop said, I can run that fast as he was running. Obviously, he was joking, but that means he wasn't running as fast as you think he was. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share. Email me if you want to get down on this fantasy football. It's going to be a great time. Again, don't forget to hit me with the super chats. I don't have, Glenn knows. Glenn, you know, on a lot of them shows, people make you super chat to come up on there and talk. I don't do that. Make sure you look out for him. Make sure, you know what I mean? Help the channel grow. I appreciate you all. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share, and it's fins up forever. Just let this team build. Let it grow. Let it continue to do its thing. Bat out of hell. Maybe in 2028. And if we get super lucky next year. Next year, I can understand you saying that high hopium, and if this, then this, and this, and this goes right, we can get to the Super Bowl next year. But this year, it is what it is. I love y'all. I appreciate you all. And fins up. Peace.